part 3. So that felt good. I think that those sorts of things are a lot underrated. Like, they help a lot, and they're not going to help the long-term haul of trying to get your shit together, but they're going to help in the moment, which I guess then helps in the long run. So then there were some things that I wanted to share with you guys. That I have a Pinterest board, and I pin things onto a board sometimes about kind of like wellness and like in terms of like self-care stuff that can kind of help with depression that I want to remember later. So when I'm feeling like this, or like I was a little bit earlier, I feel a little better now. I don't feel great. I feel vulnerable, and so I understand that I need to be gentle with myself, and kind of try to keep myself occupied. Draw, like I showed you, that drawing that I'm trying to work on, but at the same time not let myself get too crazy with things and thinking so much about the future. I try to think. I had a friend remind me today through a Facebook message that I am young. She says sometimes she forgets how young I am because I'm articulate, and I forget what she said, but and it's funny because I don't feel young. I'm almost 24, but she says that that's quite young, so I'm going to believe her. And if I really think about the lifespan that human beings hope to be privileged enough to have, 23 is fairly young, and if I really just put one foot in front of the other for the next few years, that might sound really daunting, but over time it can add up, and we evolve, and we learn, and we change. And I think that's where I get stuck a lot, is I don't believe that change is possible for someone who has never behaved properly. I also don't feel necessarily that I have like the coping skills or the living skills to overcome something so chronic and ingrained. But that's where this is so hard. And that's the reality, is that there are people who have overcome this. So I try to remind myself of those things. I try to remind myself that it's time, it's a process, and I've recently kind of defined for myself what I think that it's a process thing means, which is that recovery from like learning to manage and live with and not be controlled by depression included, as well as an eating disorder, means making not one big decision to get well, but thousands of smaller decisions to keep going, even in the moments where it feels like, even when I'm convinced that for me it's absolutely not possible, that's when I have to apply this knowledge that I have, and some faith. But it's also very logical, because I don't do well with like taking a leap of faith without any like backed up information, or backing information. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling super articulate today, but logically it makes sense that if you take step after step after step and you just keep moving forward, you try not to do harm, and if you do harm, you make sure that you examine it and you move forward, you're going to make more steps forward than you are backward, and you are going to get somewhere that is not where you are, and it's going to be better. So I guess it's really important to look at it that way for me. And I forget, it's like this disease-driven amnesia. I forget that things can get better, and that I have a lot of say in that, because I feel so bad, and that's not fair. And if you're dealing with really severe, long-term, horrible depression, it's not fair, and you shouldn't have to feel that way. And it does suck. And I'm really sorry that you're going through that, like, sincerely. And it's okay, just breathe, and take the next right step, which might be just getting yourself into a shower if you can, or telling somebody, it's okay to unload and say, I really feel bad, and it feels wrong, and I don't think that there's hope for me. And whether it's a professional, or your mom, or a different family member or friend, it's okay. Then you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna be okay. You just need to actually do some things to move forward as well. Even if it's super small, it might feel like a race against the clock, but it's not. It's a long-term process. So Okay, now over to some of the pins. There's one that has like a circle in the middle, and it says activities that support my vision of wellness, and the title is Healing from Depression and Anxiety, 5 Areas of Therapeutic Self-Care, and the goal to experience a better mood free from depression and anxiety. So physical self-care has exercise, nutrition, water intake, hydrotherapy, I don't know what that is, natural light, which is part of what I tried to do with sun, sleep, medication, supplements, herbs, acupuncture, breathing, yoga, and touch. It's been tricky. I've noticed myself craving physical contact with other human beings lately, which is weird because I'm not like touchy-feely. But when I really thought about it, it has been several years that I've been away from the majority of my friends. And some of them are quite affectionate, and my friend Whitney gives the best hugs, and like she greets you with like a kiss on your forehead, and she's just so like lovely, and I miss that. So recently I have found myself asking for hugs from the staff, which feels really uncomfortable, but there are a couple of them that have known me for a really long time, and I stick to them. So all right, that's physical self-care. And I'll try to like get some more information on like herbs and other things that are supposed to help with depression and what's the word? Oh God, and expand on that later. Lifestyle habits, structure and routine, time in nature, fulfilling work, setting goals, relaxation, pleasurable activities, humor, badass, humor is good, music therapy, creative self-expression, time for beauty, stress reduction, and time management. Mental and emotional self-care, restructuring cognitive processes, practicing daily affirmations, and my take on affirmations is that they have to be believable. They can't just be, I feel beautiful, but maybe that works for some people. For me it doesn't, and I have to have things like, I have an ability to reach people when I'm sitting with them in a way that not many people do. And that really makes me feel good about myself, and I really do believe that that is a trait that I possess that's really valuable. So, believable affirmations. Releasing negative beliefs, taming the inner critic, charting your moods, and that only works if you like stay consistent with it, as I'm learning. I'm terrible at consistency, but consistency is key for these things. Feeling your feelings, thinking like an optimist, keeping a gratitude journal. That can help. Sometimes I do, at the end of the day, sometimes write like 5 things that I'm grateful for, maybe more. And that can feel good, and it's something good to look back on. Overcoming the stigma of depression. Like I said earlier, it sucks, it's not fair, it's not your fault, and anybody who thinks that can go to hell. Self-forgiveness, psychotherapy, healing family of origin issues, working through grief. Social support, very important, something that I have trouble taking advantage of, so I will work on that. Friends, family, psychiatrist and therapist, a minister or rabbi, if spiritual guide, sponsor, whatever, support group, treatment, volunteer work, pets and animals. And then the last section is spiritual connection, prayer, meditation, spiritual community, inspirational texts, that could be like a daily devotional if you want, forgiveness, the 12 steps of AA or NA or whatever, and finding meaning and purpose. And that's sort of like a bigger thing to draw on, but I've made 3 videos now, and this one is coming to an end, so we're just going to end it there. But yeah, I will make more videos about depression because I feel like it's something that's helpful for me to reach out to people about, both about my own experience and then also because I do like to help people. If I can say anything about my experience that can give other people hope, that makes me feel more hope for my life and consequently kind of helps me in my depression. Does that make sense? So I have a lot of empathy for all of you who are dealing with that. I am certainly dealing with it, and if I do end up doing ECT or TMS, I will let you know how that goes. I will try to make another update sometime in the future, but that's about it for now. Alright, thank you.